Toyota's planning an all-new, all-electric, all-amazing Toyota Highlander. Yes, in EV fashion. This is going to be big, big news. I'm sure it'll be very exciting, and there's nothing I should be worried about or concerned about. Hey, Tacoma and other vehicles may be coming next. This is big news. Joining me to talk about it is Mark from the Tesla Life, and we're going to figure out what's going on. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So I did want to say a quick thank you to new subscribers on X, Jack and Alan. That's super, super cool and fun. And also new subscribers, bunch of numbers, and Bad Daddy unsupervised. Your support is how I'm able to keep doing this. And, you know, you can see here there's a bunch of different ways you can support me. And it's awesome. I appreciate it. So we've got this bit of action right here. All up in this business. Toyota plots an all-electric Highlander SUV. Will the Tundra and Tacoma be next? No. What do you think? That's right. Way. That's right. I forget what it's called, but when a headline has a question in it, the answer is almost always no. And why won't they?
Well, Toyota, of course, is this company that has a love-hate relationship with electric vehicles. They seem to tell us at maybe the beginning of a quarter that, you know what, we're turning a new leaf. We're going to start making electric vehicles. We understand that they're starting to catch on, and we believe that we can bring something with our vast amount of models. We can bring something electrified to the masses that will be successful. And then about 4 weeks later, we get another news release that they're thinking that hybrids are the way to go.
After a slow start, Toyota's looking to shake up things with its next round of electric cars. Second best-selling SUV in the US, the Highlander is going fully electric, which could be followed by other names like Tacoma and Tundra. Japanese automaker has been notoriously slow in transitioning to fully electric. Yeah, the Buzz Forks and the Lexus RZ, and that is for at least another 2 years. That's very, very exciting. So you're not holding out hope that this chunk of trash is going to be the saving grace. It's just the first step. So for the folks watching at home, what do you think of Toyota? Do you trust their powertrains? They've got some great legacy. They've had a few duds here and there where something was missed in the engineering, bit of oversight, but this, they could build a 3-row pony perhaps. So what I noticed, because Mark, you sent me this, and it's a great story. We got to cover Toyota, but Toyota's EV sales continue lagging as Hyundai and Kia plow ahead. I love it. That's a great headline. Toyota's US EV sales fall behind the competition. After a rocky start with its first fully electric vehicle, the turdly named Buzz Forks continues falling further behind rivals in the US market. It's at least with the trucks, they have a TRD, so you could call it a turd, but this is the name you give a car when you want people to forget it ever existed.
Do you remember the launch, Brian, when they told us this name and then promptly started to release the vehicles? And then there was a recall because the lug nuts weren't tight on the vehicles.
Yeah, but the car still stopped. That's better than their last recall.
I'm thinking, this is Toyota. These people make millions of cars every year. Millions in all different areas of the world. They have a problem with their first electric car, and it's not a problem with the electric. It's a problem that the lug nuts aren't able to stay tight. And I'm thinking, okay, this is insane for Toyota.
So they sold 1,897 EVs in the first month of Q1, of the first month of this year. 1897, that's like a few hours of Tesla production globally. In the US, it's still, that's terrible. That's truly, truly awful. That's still less than a day of production.
We're certainly going to have to, let's face it, Toyota has a good name. They sell the hybrid cars. It was the first to market with it. They stuck with it for a long time. It wasn't successful at the very beginning, but it grew into a successful segment in the auto industry. And I would say that they're top of the charts when it comes to hybrids. But it's really strange about this love-hate relationship with electric. Hybrids are partially electric already, but yet they don't want to go to the full EV. And they have stubbed their toe on this so many times. They could build a Highlander. They could build a Tacoma. Those vehicles could sell really well as electric vehicles, but they keep pulling the rug out from underneath our feet with these announcements. And I just don't understand where their heads are.
I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere so far up there they need a snorkel to breathe. Hey, look at this one. This is all their EV concepts. These could be coming out any day, right? Oh, you're still on that one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's all right.
Still, any day at all. Yeah.
Any day. Well, actually, this article is several years old. So this is from 2021. These haven't materialized. Not a single one of them. Unless
Well, maybe
maybe
in the Matchbox, but not anywhere else.
Yeah, these are great. So many of these would work somewhere. All of them would work somewhere. So just build them is, I guess, my advice to Toyota. Those of you in the comments, what would be your advice, and where in PG form is their head? Because I think it's not in the right place. It's not screwed on straight. Then you've got, of course, beauties like this. Toyota's hitting the gas on hybrids as EV sales cool. Are EV sales cooling for real? Is that a real thing?
No, not really.
No.
There certainly are some EVs that are cooling, the ones that aren't really competitive with others. But as mentioned with Hyundai, with Kia, they're charging ahead. They're building more and more models. Tesla, of course, is selling everything they make. Yes, there is a slowdown in the automotive market as a whole. We've got high interest rates. We've got a situation where people can't afford to buy a new car in this trying economic condition that we're all in. But eventually, when those rates come down, we should be back where we were. But certainly EVs, even in North America, are taking up a larger and larger chunk every quarter that goes by.
So the first thing I learned in sales was, do you know what people buy? Whatever you're selling. If you're not selling EVs, people aren't buying them. You could be the EV lead. Toyota could have been the EV leader. Toyota still could be an EV leader just on the strength of their name alone. If they got serious, auto experts say the company's foot dragging on EVs was no fumble, rather a calculated strategy to give consumers what they want. What they want is a Toyota. What they want is a car. You're not selling. If you don't give them EVs and they're brand loyal, what are you supposed to do?
How many people moved from Toyota to Tesla because Tesla was the only game in town for a compelling EV?
When the Model 3 rolled out, they thought, boy, what are people actually going to buy, or what are they going to trade in? It's going to be the BMWs, the Mercedes, and it wasn't. It was the Accords, it was the Camrys, because those are the best-selling cars of comparable size, and this car wasn't that much more. It was more at the time. At launch, it was a good 50,000, but once you factor in the fuel savings and incentives at the time, it wasn't that big of a stretch, that Tesla strat. But, I think Toyota could still be very serious, despite things like electric cars were just 0.92% of Toyota's sales last year. It was a record year for Toyota, but electric vehicles had little to do with it. I mean,
well, it's tough to drive them when the lug nuts don't get tight.
Yeah, but then you can total it and sell another one. It's a flawless business. Hey, man, I think the reason all of our cars were trying to hit the curbs is because Tesla had some wheels they needed to clear out the inventory. Just bonk some potholes and get us some wheel sales. Now, I'm being cynical, but it feels like people can't buy what you don't sell. So how serious is Toyota about electrification, do you think?
I can't say they're serious at all, Brian, because of this constant back and forth. I don't know how many times I've seen this cycle of we're selling EVs, we're getting serious about EVs, and then somebody else gets replaced, or there's a new announcement from a senior VP that says, I think we're going to stop. It's an ongoing thing that's been happening for years. It's almost like this is just getting media attention. That's what they want, is the story that said they're all in on EVs, and then 3 months later, they're all out on EVs. It's amazing.
It is amazing. But what's more amazing than all this battery technology is their solid state battery breakthrough, which you and I have discussed. It's going to do 745 miles on a single charge. It can be charged in 10 minutes or less. Oh, this is going to change everything. And don't worry, it'll be out by 2027. It'll be on the road by 2027. Now, mind you, November 2010 was when they started saying that this was coming. And here we are. This article's already out of date. It's, 13 plus years. Steady stream of release promising this wonder battery. It's definitely in development. But all these extravagant promises have come to very little physical proof that Toyota has done anything in its R&D besides putting out more hydrogen.
The fuel cell is a well, it's well and well maintained in Japan.
Well, they promised to bring a prototype solid-state battery to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and you know what? Never mind. It's fine. And if you had that miracle battery, why would you keep pushing hydrogen so hard? They want it to succeed so bad, it's practically paying people to buy the Mirai. And by the way, good luck buying it when Shell closed all of their, 6-7 stations that were built to fill them.
Yep.
You can get 40,000 off.
Oh, and then of course, if you've seen the price of hydrogen in the United States, to fill that car, if you're paying for it, you're looking at over $100 per fill up. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that's why they're giving you 15,000 in free hydrogen and a 0% loan. This new car would run you 11 grand. 15,000 free hydrogen. What is that? 6 tanks?
Yeah, exactly. 15 grand in free hydrogen. Or, you could spend $1 a day on an EV.
Nah, I'm good. No, I'm going to get this hydrogen because, and the best part is, I don't know if you know this, but with the hydrogen cars, after 10 to 12 years, you have to replace the tank. It's a high-pressure vessel, and if you run it past its expected lifespan, it can fail catastrophically.
So just like barbecue tanks, they have to be tested, and in this case, they have to be recalibrated or completely replaced at the end of the 11 or 12 years. Like, that's an expense that is just coming. Like, it's okay. I understand it's 10 years, but still, that is a serious amount of money for a 10-year-old car.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's not, because the part won't exist. It won't exist. What do you think you're going to take it into Toyota and they'll say, you got it, buddy. We'll just charge you.
We'll just grab it off the shelf. It's right here.
Yeah, it's right next to the carburetor and the pixie dust. These are, Toyota needs to get their act together. It's great that you can sell cars. It's great that you can build high quality cars. You got to get serious, guys. This is getting so old. I am so tired of it. Oh, all right. So my question is, in the comments, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it. It's the only way we know how to get a little bit smarter. And thank you to Mark for joining me. You can check him out on the Tesla Life, a weekly podcast with more news scattered throughout the week, because they're crazy people and they just can't stop themselves. I've tried to stop them without success.
Doesn't work.
I'll do better next time. But I do leave comments from time to time that are perfectly appropriate.
Or inappropriate, depending on your viewpoint.
Do I? Oh, that doesn't sound like me, Mark. So, like, subscribe, do the usual things, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots behind the wheels of your miracle Toyota EV that can go 1,000,000 miles, charge in a second, and do everything except leave the lab.